Hi, thank you for joining us. For those of you who don't know, my name is James DeMello. I look after investor relations at SidebySide. I'm joined today by Andy Watson. Andy's the CEO of Sherpr Global Limited. Sherpr is obviously one of our existing portfolio companies, and we thought we'd do this video just to give you a bit more of an idea, meet the man behind Sherpr, but also tell you a bit about their plans for the future and what they've achieved over the last 12 months. So yeah, Andy, thanks for joining me. I guess, first of all, is just, do you want to give me a bit of an overview what Sherpr actually is? What does Sherpr do for the consumer? What do you mean for kind of booking operators? And yeah, tell us about Sherpr.
Yeah, sure. So Sherpr is essentially a door-to-door solution for sending luggage. So when we started, what we wanted to do was alleviate the pain points of having to carry your luggage to the airport, stand in line for a long period of time, pay excess baggage fees, and then stand at the carousel on the flip side when you land at the airport. So really our service alleviates those pain points and allows you to kind of travel hassle-free. So we pick up the luggage at your door and we deliver it to the hotel anywhere in the world for roughly the same price as an airline, or in some cases even cheaper. So we really offer that no hassle solution to consumers. From a B2B point of view, we work with travel brands. We work with a lot of operators and OTAs, and as part of that offering, what we do is we essentially are an ancillary where they really don't earn much or if any commission from any of the airlines. Airlines make a large majority of their cash from ancillaries and also from, in particular, on the luggage side of their businesses. And I think that's the classic case example of Ryanair, where they kind of force you to buy ancillaries. And once you think you've gone past that ancillaries page, you're hit with more ancillaries. So really what we wanted to do is for our partners on a B2B perspective is to offer our service as an ancillary where they wouldn't be able to necessarily be making commission from these ancillaries, whilst also then essentially building a markup on top of that. So giving them a double prong approach to earning revenue, plus offering their customers a more easier way and hassle-free way to travel.
And what sort of stuff are people shipping with you? Like, is it, just holiday clothes? Is it all different types?
Yeah, we get a few different buckets of customers. We have the very high-end travelers that even though they fly their private jets, they're taking a lot of items with them. That could well be that they've come in for holiday and, we work with some hotel brands. And, as part of that, when their customers leaving, they've gone shopping and they bought a ton of stuff. So we're there in order to pick it up, bring it into our warehouse, package it for them, and then send it out. We do then get the kind of the British Airways, Virgin Traveller, and we do get the Ryanair and EasyJet Traveller as well there. So what we do find is if anyone is listening to this and they have a family, we do get a lot of families that are simply saying, look, take my kids' items away from me. I've got enough stuff here. Just get it to the hotel. I don't want to have to bother with all the faff. And that's something that we see that we do see quite often. Also, for example, right now traveling to the UAE, which is a popular holiday destination, it's clearly not sunny here at the moment, and we're in towards the end of February time. I can send those summer clothes ahead of me, within a week in advance, and it wouldn't bother me at home, purely based on the fact that it's not sunny here and I don't wear shorts and t-shirt in this weather. So, we have various different types of services as well. We have an economy service, which can take 2 or 3 days, and then we have a priority service, which is a next day service as well. We then have a super priority service that we can use for our customers as well, but that's usually a particular use case.
Okay, good. Thank you for that. So obviously we partnered with you back in March 2021. And so, we've got to know you a bit, got to know the business, seen the sort of progress. But do you want to tell people, I guess, what did you raised investment, March 21? What did that mean? What were you able to do with that over the course of the year? What's that meant for you?
Well, we were 2 to 3 people, I think, this time last year. And we're now 18 to 20 people. So we've seen clear growth, not just on the revenue side, where we're up 200–250% year on year, but we've also grown and given myself some support where, I can't be doing absolutely everything in the business. What that's allowed us to do is build a really solid customer service team. So, we pride ourselves on customer service. We are a service business. And it's also allowed me, in part of the team, to develop a management team as well. So we have a head of customer service, we had a head of operations, we just hired someone very senior in business development as well. So taking and releasing that pressure to allow me to go and focus on the strategy of the business, i.e. new markets, new products, new bigger partnerships that's really going to change the direction of the business, has really been key. And we really had to build a team in order to scale. On top of that as well, not just on the revenue side of things, our technology was not as sophisticated as what it should have been when processing and integrating with couriers, carriers, mapping systems, warehouse systems, and that's something that we put a lot of effort into over the past year in order to automate that process, where we don't have to rely on headcount as much with customer service, when we could have the technology to actually do that for us. So that was a big piece. And also, as part of that, our core focus was the UK. And now, we are an international business. We can ship from anywhere to anywhere in the world if you really wanted to. So we launched in the US in January time, and we're still going to be using some of that capital to then launch in Dubai next month as well, which we think would be key. So all in all, the money was well used and well spent. And it's really kind of got us to a place where we're now a more mature business than just being, 2 or 3 people in a business.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Good. That's good to hear. And I guess the other point of this video was to sort of let the investors know, obviously you guys are going to be fundraising again this year. So, what's the plans for investment? You mentioned the US launch, UAE launch, what are you planning? What's in the pipeline kind of thing that you can tell us about?
Yeah, sure. So with the US, we kind of went in there and tested. The US is a very different beast. I understand the US. I was launching Spotify out there and lived there for 4 or 5 years. So understand the nature of customer service and the level of service you have to provide against any competitors, and just the expectation of the US as well, right? So there's so many people that go there and then fail for whatever reason that may be. So right now what we're doing is we're just sowing the seeds, understanding the market from a shipping point of view, understanding which lanes, which couriers we should be using, which kind of customer service we should be using, which channels we should be using in order to market and increase demand out there. So we will funnel a lot of our attention this year into the US, but also on Dubai as well. So they'll be our 2 key markets. Dubai is really interesting, and it's not really somewhere where many entrepreneurs really think about going necessarily. For our service, it's absolutely perfect, and there's no one in the market doing what we're doing. What we realized being out there is that this is all about service. Money is no object necessarily out in that market. It's just about service. So what we've done here in London, which we launched in December, is we offer a 1-hour collection slot for anybody sending any items. So we pick those up, no need to label, no need to do anything with it. We bring it into our warehouse, we scan, we weigh it, we then package up the luggage, tag it, label it, make sure everything is looking good. So we're in control of that. And then we send it out to whichever destination it needs to go to. So we'll roll that out in Manhattan this year, and we'll also roll it out in Dubai this year. So that's really key, and no one else is doing this kind of service. So, we think further forward that this is really going to add a big string to our bow. On top of that, we will also continue to hire on the team, mainly in tech. We have a really big, unique first to market piece of technology that I would love to say more about, but if I do say it, someone is going to steal it because we think it's that great. But what that will do is it will help improve the supply chain, and it will help improve our customer service processes as well. So we think that eventually over a period of time, this is a commercial product, but for ourselves, we want to use this internally as much as we possibly can. So hopefully when we do launch it, be able to tell a little bit more around that, but that's a really interesting piece of technology. And for us, this year is really just about scaling, increasing revenue, focusing on the key markets, and looking at we've just had confirmation, and we're now in the latter processes of finishing up a tier 1 partner integration as well that will go live in and around April time, which will be a real game changer for the business as well. So really focusing on those 3 things, I would say.
Okay, good. And it's probably worth pointing out, although you can't talk about the kind of software launch or the technology launch, you've built this in response to customer feedback over the last 12 months. So this isn't something that's kind of like, you've just thought of on a whim. This is something that you've seen a problem, and this is hopefully something that will fill it for you, and not just for you, but potentially sort of have some commercial viability in the market as well. So yeah, good to see.
Absolutely. I mean, like with all these things, it's really easy as a founder to excuse me, it's really easy to see a little shiny toy and think, oh, that's my next objective. That's what I'm going to go for. And you forget about the core business. And you know, from an investor's point of view, investors don't want to see that. They want to see what they invested in. But if you can complement your original core service with something that is going to improve the customer service and supply chain experience, where we're proactive instead of being reactive, then, you know, there's a huge bonus to the business and the value of the business as well moving forward.
Good. Okay, well, thank you for joining us today. If anyone has any questions, obviously Sherpr will be featuring in the next round, but if anyone has any questions for myself or wants to put any questions to Andy, sort of more specific about the business, very happy to do so. And yeah, thank you for watching.